6 colors, 54 squares. It is the most recognizable puzzle on the planet and a defining artifact of 1980s pop culture. Looking at its bright plastic faces, it is logical to assume a major corporate toy company engineered this object specifically to dominate the global market. But beneath that colorful exterior is a stark mechanical wireframe. This object was built far away from any toy store, designed as a rigid academic tool for a university classroom. The best-selling game in human history began as an architectural study in spatial mechanics, disguised as a plastic toy. The real story begins in Budapest, Hungary, in 1974. Erno Rubik was a sculptor and a university professor of architecture. He faced a recurring problem in his lectures. His students were struggling to conceptualize complex three-dimensional geometry. They couldn't visualize how parts of a single object could move independently without the structure breaking. To teach them, Rubik set out to build a physical model, a three-dimensional object where dozens of individual pieces could freely rotate on multiple axes. The immediate physical hurdle was gravity. If you take a stack of separate blocks and attempt to slide the middle row sideways, the structural integrity fails and the entire pile collapses. He had to find a way to keep every moving piece completely tethered together. This was a severe challenge of spatial mechanics and structural engineering. Traditional interlocking joints where hinges were useless here. Moving one block would cause the others to bind up and lock the entire structure. Rubik ignored the exterior entirely, focusing inward to engineer a complex spherical central core. Instead of attaching external blocks together, every piece anchors directly into this central core via curved tracks, allowing them to glide completely around the center axis without detaching. By late 1974, Rubik had successfully hand-carved the wooden components and assembled a working physical prototype. A year later, in 1975, he secured an official patent for his invention, the Magic Cube. For Rubik's students, the device worked exactly as intended. It successfully demonstrated the complex spatial relationships he had struggled to explain through drawings alone. To properly demonstrate the model, the independent movement of those blocks had to be visually obvious. He applied a straightforward fix, painting the 6 external faces of his model in solid colors. Once the paint dried, he gave the rows a few casual twists to verify his newly colored blocks were gliding smoothly along the inner core. Those few rotations instantly fractured the solid walls of color, scattering them across the faces in a chaotic pattern. In the moment he proved his architecture worked, he inadvertently generated a massive mathematical problem. His teaching tool was suddenly a trap. The man who had meticulously engineered every invisible millimeter of this mechanism had no idea how to restore it to its starting position. It required a full month of intense spatial reasoning before the professor was able to solve his own device for the very first time. That month of effort suggested the object possessed a rare, addictive quality. By 1980, the device left the classroom and launched globally under its new name, the Rubik's Cube. A mechanical prototype built for a single classroom ended up teaching spatial reasoning to billions. While the world focused on aligning the colors, the true engineering feat remained the invisible core that kept the entire structure from flying apart.